Can you imagine plating those dinners? College students trying to look cool by lighting up might feel just a little bit silly when they have to walk all the way off campus just to find a place to take a drag. 43 campuses from California to New Jersey have gone smoke-free, according to a USA Today cover story. Campuses are restricting students from smoking in their dorm rooms, in common areas, and even outside. Are these rules going too far? Joining me to discuss it, Patrick Reynolds, president of the Foundation for a Smoke-Free America, and Gary Nolan, the national spokesperson for the Smokers Club. Nice to see you both today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Patrick, let's begin with you. Your grandfather founded R.J. Reynolds Tobacco, and now we know that smoking causes all these health problems, but is it a personal choice? Should it be a personal choice?
Well, you know, my father died from smoking, and I make a difference doing this work. As far as smoking being a choice, most people make that choice when they're children. 9 out of 10 smokers became addicted before their 19th birthday. So once they get addicted, it's as addicting as heroin, and there's not a whole lot of choice in the matter. The first thing we know about addiction is the tobacco companies say, oh, it's a matter of choice, but the truth is, in every 12-step program, first step is admitting you have an addiction, you don't have a choice, and let's get help, let's get in a program. You know,
Gary, Patrick points out how young these people are when they get addicted for life to cigarettes, and the studies back that up. I mean, isn't it right for the colleges to do everything they can to try and keep their students from forming these lifelong attachment to killer cigarettes?
Well, if Patrick is correct, then these kids have already started smoking, and clearly it isn't the job of a college campus to teach them to stop smoking. Patrick's goal to stop people from smoking is laudable, and if he wants to proselytize and educate the public so that they don't smoke, don't start or begin the cessation programs, that's terrific. But when you do politically correct actions like banning smoking outside, and you do it based on junk science, you do more harm than good. And in fact, kids who think, young kids who want to be cool, they're usually rebellious. And this is the sort of thing that would attract them. Gee, I can be a real rebel and smoke. I think we do more harm than good by passing these kinds of rules and laws.
The one thing that I was thinking about is when I was in college, obviously you couldn't smoke in the dormitory hallways or in the common areas, but in your dorm room you could smoke. Gary or Patrick, when you're talking about smoking in your own home, it seems like it would be far-fetched to try to legislate people going inside their houses to smoke. So how's a dorm room any different? That's their home for their year. And also, by the way...
Well, there's a group now called Smoke-Free Apartments, and they handle smoke that goes through the ventilation systems into neighboring apartments. This is a real incredible issue. As far as smoking outside, you find that most smokers huddle around the doorway, and you can't walk in or out of a doorway without being engulfed in a cloud of secondhand smoke that contains poisons. Gary, it's not junk science. There's really an overwhelming body of medical evidence that proves secondhand smoke causes lung cancer and heart disease. And yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
And
I can tell you right
misinformation to say otherwise.
All right. Okay, so junk science and the facts aside, but look, if you're talking about a college, many of them are private universities, and on private property, they can dictate what happens there.
And I have no problem with that. However, if they've signed a contract to allow these children, these students rather, to rent these apartments that are their homes essentially, then you can't rewrite the rules in the middle of the game. And going back to the junk science thing, we've talked about this and debated it in the past. OSHA couldn't pass a non-smoking workplace law because the chemicals in secondhand smoke are in such minute quantities that there isn't enough for them to pass the law. If they did, you wouldn't have any manufacturing facilities open anywhere in the country.
Gary, 16 states have now gone smoke-free in all bars and restaurants, and there was plenty enough evidence for those 16 states to pass laws banning smoking there, and 14 of them did it in the last 4 years alone. We're at the tipping point. Banning smoking indoors and in outdoor areas where it affects non-smokers is an idea whose time has come, and the science is there,
Gentlemen,
Gary.
I'm sorry that I have to cut it off there, but I do. Patrick Reynolds and Gary Nolan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, Democrats oppose the president's plans for Iraq, but